Hi guys, welcome to the Silver Report. Today is Saturday, January 28th, 2017. Gold is currently trading at $1,192.30. Silver currently is at $17.22. The market is closed. We see before the market's closed, oil was up about 2%. It went up to $53.78 a barrel. We're probably going to see a nice little boost in inflation due to this, due to driving costs, delivery costs. So we are going to see some effect. We see this nonsensical debate erupting throughout the mainstream media about who gets the credit for this stock market success. And I really think that they want Trump to be able to take credit for this. That way, because the real important debate is who's really going to be to blame for the bubble. Who's going to be to blame when this bubble that is formed will ignite this massive crisis? And we already know who they want that to be. We're staring down the barrel of a gun right now, wondering, you think this is going to hurt? With the level of uncertainty and unrest, most people have a sense that we're in a transition phase to an entirely different way of life. I'm not one to buy into all that I hear from politicians. I believe in the idea of a free market. I believe that it's necessary that we unregulate some of these businesses. I believe that it's necessary. I don't believe a minimum wage hike is positive for the economy. It's destructive for the currency. And in the end of the day, it's going to impact through inflation. So we do need to pull back some of these new age ideas about how to make an economy work, and this idea that somehow the government can influence the economy. What they need to do is take off some of these restraints, lower some of these taxes. But in the end, it's the uncertainty I'm speaking about now. We see not so great Britain is in the midst of a peaceful revolution. Peaceful, so far. They've invoked Article 50. The vote is going to Parliament. They're under discussions about leaving the EU. We know that they tried this strong-arm tactic that they used maybe on Greece. I'm not sure. That meeting took place in a back room right before the man resigned. But we know that they're coming out. The leaders of the European Union central banks are coming out and saying, we need you to pay your debt. But we know that Great Britain is not one to be bullied. We know Canada, Australia, the entire European Union will come crashing down. So it's not like they're going to be bullied. And we saw this recent loss they experienced to Trump. The elite did not expect that. We saw through their propaganda streams how they tried to influence, called for these 10-point wins by Hillary Clinton, and she was just demolished. Over 300 electoral votes. The will of the people cannot be suppressed for long. And this is what we need to fear. The central banks don't want this. And the more you attempt to supersede the will of the people, they become stronger. What we need to worry about is not the desire of the world to be free. That's apparent. It's the tactics that have been used to control the masses, which is panic and fear, currency crisis. This is how you change the will of this people. Crash the euro. Impoverish the people. They are going to crash the world economy so that the people come and beg for central bank control. Think about the United States. In fact, how did Hitler in Germany disarm the German nation? Fear, mass shootings, constant streams of propaganda depicting the terrifying world full of gun violence and danger and uncertainty, a world of disorder. Has the people unite in the cry for someone to step in to create order. They paint a picture in the United States, create terror, where there was none. Release 5 ISIS videos on YouTube. Now the people, all of a sudden, not only don't mind warrantless wiretapping, but could not even imagine a world without it. What about the terrorists? Get it? When it comes to gun violence, they put up streams to where everybody's saying, well, of course nobody on a no-fly list should have firearms, and they leave out the fact that they can select at will, without trial or tribunal, who is allowed to be on that list. So therefore giving the executives control over who can and cannot possess firearms. But what about the terrorists, right? A terror watch list? Terrorist no-fly list? We shouldn't let terrorists have guns. In the same way, when the masses reject fiat currency, when they devalue the currency, they begin to select for themselves other viable options, like we just saw in China. We saw the result of the people's will towards Bitcoin and how it was outlawed. We saw the result of the people's will to flow into gold during the 2008 crisis. It was around 2011 we were really hitting off. And what we saw was this creation of paper gold and paper silver and dumped into the futures market. They depict through futures a less desirable value to these alternatives. When a people, the masses of sheeple, begin to wake up and say, we want our own nation, control of our own money, and they will not take no for an answer, the rejected central bankers will not allow themselves to take 2 steps back. No. They show the world through controlled economic crash that they need a central bank. I mean, that's how they instituted it in the first place. Crisis. Currency crisis, boom and bust cycles, currency crisis, where the people became okay with it. So we are in for pain on the way to this new world, which is really the old world. And I, for one, don't really think we have the resolve to survive. As the Lord Baron Rothschild said, give me control of a nation's money supply, and I care not who makes the laws. And so we understand that they already have control. They have control of law, control of politics. And when the people, they are a separate entity from the governments, they're a separate entity, and when the people want to leave their control, the true controlling influence in this country, when the people want to break away from their control, they will create such a panic and such a uncertain, such a painful world that the people come to them. That's just it. They will use this coming currency crisis to manipulate the people to possibly a worse system, to more controls, more economic controls. Make no mistake, if not so Great Britain decides to leave the euro, they're going to make it so painful for the citizens of that country. I mean, this is exactly what they used in order to slow down the dissent that was rising up in Greece. They put it all through their newspapers, all through the world. Don't you understand that the quality of life in Greece will be so horrendous if you try to make this move, that things are better within our system, not within the system, within our system? Because it's not as though they're saying that they should give up control, or that control is bad, but that you should give up control. Same way with this push towards security, where they want to suppress gun violence, and they're not suggesting that all guns be removed from the earth, just the right of the citizens to control firearms. In Davos, they're suggesting a cashless world, giving the elite supreme control over all transactions, complete and total solidified control. so that all other paper currencies underneath their cashless system would then become illegal for trade, barter, and sale, giving them supreme control and at will the ability to remove or access accounts throughout the entire world, and giving them the ability, because right now they don't have the ability, they're working towards it, and this is their goal, but giving them the ability to control the entire world's monetary system through one system, giving them the ability to create at will numbers on a screen. That's what most of our money is these days anyway, numbers on a screen. Half of the currency that they say exists doesn't exist. Half of the loans they put out doesn't exist. They only need to keep 10% in a bank for loans they put out. So on a $100,000 house, they only need to hold $10,000 in the bank. And yet it's assumed that this money is just in existence and it's not really real. And giving these kinds of people who are manipulating precious metals, manipulating currencies, the ability to control a cashless society is the end of the people's freedom. Which is why, while you have the chance, it will give them the ability to tax at will certain purchases within the metals industry. We see in other countries just a sheer volume through heavy taxation on precious metals, just the disparity of price. It's outrageous. And giving these people supreme control to tax at will, which would make precious metals, silver and gold, an even bigger threat to such an unfavorable system, which is why it makes it so favorable, which is why you should take some of your excess money and set it aside and begin to invest. It doesn't need to be a lot. Just get some in your own hands. Begin to understand what this alternate form of preserving wealth, of keeping savings, feels like. You who are not able to even save money. I love how somebody brought that up on the channel, that before they were unable to save money, now they've never been so wealthy in their entire life. And just taking some of your money out of this fiat system, out of this currency system, out of these unstable banks, and keeping it in a way that is protected, that is private, and that is free, and not controlled, but within your own grasp. It's priceless. Which where it really brings out the true value of silver and true value of gold, is that it is not manipulatable. Futures, yes, but not the actual physical metals market, which is that much more tight than they put on. The price is determined by the paper market. So, all right, thank you guys for joining me. If you like the content, be sure to subscribe. There'll be more videos just like this. I thank you guys for stopping by. Like the videos, share, get the word out. I thank you so much, and thank you so much for coming by. Keep in mind, it's still free Silver February, so if anyone has not heard, go and check out the video. We're doing a giveaway. We're giving away some free silver coins. All you have to do is be subscribed to the channel. Type in the comment, free Silver February, in 3 different videos. Every time you type that in, you have one entry in to the competition. We're going to do a drawing to make sure that it's fair. And if you win, we're going to let you give a little shout out. You can plug your channel, come on the show if you want, say a few words, whatever you want to do. If you want to remain anonymous, that's fine too. But thank you guys again for stopping by. I appreciate it. And stay tuned. Stay safe.